Motion, got a second, any discussion? All in favor of going into executive session, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Entertain a motion to come out of executive session. Got a motion?
Second.
Got a second, any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. With that, I'll certify the executive session. Whereas the Tazewell Council has convened an executive session on this date pursuant to the affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and whereas 2.1-344.1 of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by this council that such executive session was conducted in conformity with Virginia law, and now therefore be it resolved, the Tazewell Council hereby certifies that to the best of each member's knowledge, one, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed in the executive session to which this certification resolution applies, and two, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion convening the executive session were heard, discussed, or considered by the Tazewell Council. And with that, I'll do a roll call vote. Councilmember Takish. Aye. Councilmember King.
Aye.
Councilmember Klein. Aye. Vice Mayor Hankins. Aye. And Councilmember Willis.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. And with that, we will call to order the regular meeting. And could you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, there he is. That's right. You give us the name.
I moved my spot.
Yeah, no, I was looking over here.
Mayor Hoops pushed me out of the way. Yes, let's pray together. Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you so much that we can gather this evening in a place and take part in the process. We thank you for those that serve. We thank you for those that are getting ready to present. We ask you to bless the meeting that's about to happen, that it would be peaceful, that the right resolutions and solutions would happen. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
And please, let's continue to stand and recognize a moment of silence for the memory of Benny Collins. Thank you. Please be seated. All right. Next on the agenda, we have a special presentation for Black History Month, Miss Betty Wallace. Please come forward.
Okay, now am I addressing you or am I addressing the audience?
However you prefer to do it.
I'm going to stand right here.
All right.
So good evening, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank the council for giving me this opportunity to speak. As probably everyone in here knows that February is Black History Month. And I've been asked to speak on Black history in Tazewell County, and I don't know much about. I left Tazewell County when I was 18 years old. So I had to do a little research. So when I thought of Tazewell County, I never considered back of me, back of now. I always thought about just the time when I was running around in Tazewell. So I did a little research, and I know that a lot of the Black history in Tazewell County has been lost. Only a few of these descendants of slaves remembered and recorded their family stories, and that would be the two families are the Warrens and the Hollies. And they made an effort to record their family's experience in slavery. Miss Minnie Holly, many of you might know, she recorded her family history in 1977, published collection of the stories her father told her about slavery days. The first census of Tazewell County was taken in 1800. The population at that time was 2,127, And of the 2,127 people living in Tazewell County, 219, which was 10%, were slaves. And 3% of the population were slave owners. The 3% exerted great influence, holding almost all the county political and social power. I had some noted names of slaveholders, but I will not call them. The first enslaved in Tazewell County had complex interactions in that they were allowed to interact with the Native Americans. In 1810, the slave population increased from 11%, while the percentage of slaveholders remained at 3%. So, which means the same slaveholders were prominent during that time. 12% of the population in Tazewell County, and by 1820, slaves formed 12% of the population of Tazewell County, and still the number of slaveholders was 3%. The leading slave owner had 45 slaves. According to the 1830 census, the total population of Tazewell was 5,749, with a slave population of 14%. Slave population increased by more than 350 slaves between 1820 and 1830. Between 1800 and 1840, there were many cases of slaves being emancipated. Some slaves were able to buy their freedom, others were freed by their owners, and slave owners died and included them in the will to be freed. Most that were freed were willed their freedom. In one case, I found in one case, a slave owner willed all his property to his wife, and again, I won't mention a name. However, upon the death of his wife, all of his 19 slaves were to be emancipated and given 5-mile swatch of their land. And that 5-mile swatch we now know as mud fart. Most of the families who formed the country of mud fart took their master's surnames. And I guess you guys can just guess what those names are. So we like to believe there was no racial, well, I'm not going to go there yet. The Civil War also increased the opportunity for slaves to run. Even though there were no battles in Tazewell County, Confederates and Union and Confederate soldiers came through Tazewell to go to the salt mines in Saltville. And when they came through, the slaves intermingled with them and followed them out of Tazewell. In May of 1864, I'm going to call him name, Captain Tynes, a Tazewell County native in the Confederate Army, was shocked when he ran into familiar black faces while traveling with his company through West Virginia. So on the night of May the 16th, the captain's troop came back with some prisoners from the Union Army, including a few blacks. He was shocked when he recognized all of the blacks escaped slaves from Tazewell. And several of them belonged to, again, I'm not going to call her name, Tazewell County farmer. And these escaped slaves had been driving wagons for the Union Army. And since they left their masters, this Captain Tynes wrote a letter to his wife and told his wife that he had ran into these slaves and that they were being held in a location, and for her to notify all the slave owners that these slaves belonged to where they were so that they could recapture them after the war. As I said, in 1800 and between 1800 and 1840, there were many cases of slaves being emancipated. And also I ran across because we always thought, as we were brought up, I don't remember being taught about or talked about slavery. And so we didn't have a history, my family didn't have a history, so I can't share that with you. All I can do is share what I researched. And so I ran across, we always thought that there was no racial tension in Tazewell County, because when we came along, there was no racial tension. But I did run across a case where, in Richlands, where 5 black railroad workers from Buchanan County were accused of killing 2 merchants in Richlands, and even though they were never tried, they were taken from the Cedar Bluff jail and lynched. Even though there was only one of these people that was accused, because the other 4 were from Buchanan County, and with this young man, they chose to lynch all of them. There's the last known ex-slave to die in Tazewell County was born in 1848 as a slave in Apps Valley. Newspapers interviewed him on several occasions, and he talked about his experience as a slave. He knew if the men in blue won the war, that he would no longer be enslaved. However, if they didn't win the war, he would not gain his freedom. So this young man, his name was Samuel Harris, and he and his brother, they decided that if they were not going to be freed, that there was a man in McDowell County, West Virginia, who, if they could get to this man, would lead them to freedom, to the Virginia and Ohio border. And this was their first stop, documented as their first stop on the Underground Railroad. In recent years, Tazewell County has actively acknowledged its history with slavery. The county now holds an annual Juneteenth celebration, which includes a freedom walk, a historical retelling of honor, to honor the experience of the past, a mural titled Standing Tall and Proud, which I think you've seen up by the courthouse, which is dedicated at the Tazewell County Courthouse, and it's featuring portraits of 16 influential black men and women from the county, some of who were born in slavery.
Thank you for your presentation. Next, we have the recognition of former Mayor Michael Hoops. And with that, Mayor, I'm proud to serve with you on the council, with you being mayor, and great experience learning from you and learning how to sit in the seat and just picking up things, and proud to have you back and recognize your achievements. I'll read the plaque for you. In recognition of his many years of outstanding service and dedication to the town of Tazewell, Virginia, and his commitment to the citizens and the prosperity of our town, serving Tazewell, the town of Tazewell, Virginia as mayor from January 1st, 2019 to October 7th, 2025. Welcome down.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. I must have watched it all. It's weird being on this side. I mean, to be honest, it's kind of, no. All right, so, yeah, the years I spent serving the town of Tazewell and its people were very much an honor to me. When I first ran, I never thought I had a chance of winning the election. I was barely known, had lived far away for several years. And, when I won that election, I'd run for a reason because I brought my family here and it was the same place I'd left 25 years earlier. And I was like, I don't want to raise a family without seeing any progress forward. So, when I was fortunate enough to get the fine people of Tazewell's vote, I was honored. And I tried to do the best I could. I know I fell short, many times, but, we all do. It's going to happen. But, I have nothing bad to say about the time I served the town of Tazewell and its people because I did enjoy it. There's things I do miss. The social media aspect of it, I definitely do not miss. But yeah, it's been an honor, and I do, appreciate everybody's support. Working with a great council. There's some new faces that weren't on council at the time, but then working with Leanne, Chiefs, Brad, getting Nate to say the prayer every council meeting. Yeah, it's just been great, and it's good to come back and see some friendly faces, and I'll be back again at some point in time. So, thank you guys.
Thank you.
And thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
We got the plaque which I read, and we got a little gift for you here.
Thank you very much.
With that, let's put your picture up on the wall.
That makes it official.
Councilmember,
Not ticking.
put you right here.
And with that, I love the council meetings, but I do have a 3-hour and 12-minute drive back home. So again, thank you all. I really appreciate it.
All right, next on the agenda is the FBLA Week proclamation. So, I was reached out to by a teacher at the high school with the FBLA program, sponsor of the FBLA program this week is, there you go. I feel like it's best if I read the resolution and we can vote to approve the resolution. All right, certificate of recognition for FBLA Week. Whereas the Future Business Leaders of America is a nonprofit educational organization whose first chapter was established in Johnson City, Tennessee in 1942. And whereas Iowa became FBLA's first state chapter in 1947. And whereas Tazewell High School officially chartered its FBLA local chapter in 1953 under the leadership of Mrs. William Bundy, and Mrs. John Kulik, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. And whereas FBLA includes more than 250,000 members and advisors in 4,600 chapters nationwide in middle schools, high schools, colleges, universities, career and technical schools, and private business schools. And whereas FBLA is a professional business organization dedicated to bringing business and education together in a positive working relationship through innovative leadership and career development programs. And Whereas FBLA members perform community service activities and strive to build a student's understanding of the realities of the modern business world. And whereas FBLA teaches middle school, high school, and college students business and leadership principles and assists them in the transition from school to work. Now therefore, I, Joseph R. Beasley, Mayor of Town of Tazewell, do hereby proclaim February 8th through the 14th, 2026 as FBLA Week in Tazewell, Virginia. With that, I will entertain a motion to accept this proclamation and present it to them as a town.
So moved. Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. The motion carries. All right, and I will get with them and present that to them. I think we're good. Okay. Next on the agenda is Tazewell County Chamber of Commerce Oktoberfest event request. Ms. Pam Mead, Executive Director of Tazewell County Chamber of Commerce.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to come and give you my request tonight. This is sort of an annual thing that we do. The Chamber's Oktoberfest is going to be on October the 3rd of this year from 5 to 10 p.m. And the reason I came tonight is to ask you all for permission to hold the event, to have it again on Main Street, as we always do, and to close Main Street, part of Main Street, in order to have our event. I would like to close at noon. I dropped the ball on that last year, so we were in a little bit of a rush to get everything prepared. But the event will be from 5 to 10 p.m. It's our biggest event. We have a lot of people that come every year from all different places, which helps, of course. They need places to stay. Last year, our food vendors sold out, as did a lot of our breweries. So we had so many people. So, you know, we kind of got behind. I think a couple of years we had bad weather, and then, you know, and then there was COVID before that. So last year we really bounced back with the event and had a lot of people. It was fun to watch the kids and some of the young people come and enjoy the band, and not everybody drinks. You know, we dropped the charge last year to just come in, so people could come on in for free, enjoy the band, enjoy the fellowship with other people. So not everybody sampled, some just came and had a good time. So it was a real good time getting together, but I wanted to come and ask your permission to hold the event again, and again to close Main Street.
It's a great event, and we see a lot of folks travel from very far to come and attend that.
Yes, they do.
Open floor, any comments from council? Questions?
No, I'll make a motion to approve.
We've got a motion?
Second.
We've got a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay.
Nay.
All right, motion carries. And so, you have permission to hold the event?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, next on the agenda, we're going to have an introduction to our newest Tazewell County Southern District Supervisor, Mr. John Rudy. Hold up and
How about
the floor is over here where everybody can see.
That'll work. I've been in office 2 months now. Trying to find a way to get impeached. But so far, anything I thought of seems to just enamor me to the office. And on a serious note, Councilman Klein and invited me to come. I look forward to trying to work with the town. You stole my cannery idea, so hopefully we can
Collaboration.
we can collaborate on that. But I'm really hoping to see that come to fruition. And anything we can do to try to help, let me know. I'm not promising you any money, so, but we'll. You know, I'm interested in some of the projects y'all got going, and got some ideas we may be able to work together on. We'll see how it goes. Next board meeting, I'm gonna come with one back leg tucked in.
Do you have an agenda?
Do I have an agenda? Try to get Dave Willis to smile.
Well, I tell you, you get the county turn loose some of that money.
I'll get right on that.
Welcome, Joe.
Thank you.
All right. Next on the agenda, Doc Whitten House donation, Liz Van Dyke and Roger Pike.
Good evening. I'm Liz Van Dyke, Betty Van Dyke's youngest child. We're here tonight to talk about donating Dr. Whitten's house. Before I talk about any of that, one of his boys that went through the program was Roger Pike. And I'd like Roger, if you would so indulge us to share a little bit of the legacy of Doc Whitten and what he did and how that all evolved. So, Roger. I think you've got packages that he gave each of you.
I don't like to have my back to on it, but it's start because the audience stand right here. It's always a pleasure, it is a pleasure to be a part of this participation, recognizing Dr. Whitten's legacy. Dr. Whitten, my twin brother and I, we came to Dr. Whitten's in 1942, stayed there till he died in 1959. 17 years. So we're definitely family members. Dr. Whitten, Jack Whitten, MD, was born in Tazewell County on a farm community known as Tazewell, about 5 miles southwest of North Tazewell. He was the son of Robert B. and Virginia Custer Whitten. Doc's father was a descendant of one of the early settlers of Tazewell County, Thomas Whitten. His mother was a niece of General George Armstrong Custer, a Little Bighorn, 1876 misfortune. And Doc didn't like anyone to bring that up to him. In the next short space of time, I will give you an overview of Doc. Through national magazine periodicals, which I have with you. By the way, Mr. Mayor, member of the council, I placed before you a book exactly like this with magazine articles that feature Dr. Whitten during his lifetime. And they're there for you to read later on to get the general idea of who Doc was. For those that had the distinct pleasure of living or knowing Dr. Whitten, he is a reminder to us all that his early child was loving and dedicated parent who raised him to have a relationship with the one perfect disciple. He was destined to achieve commendable accomplishments. Doc must have been a good son to his parents. Tragically, Doc's mother died when he was only 12 years old, and from that law, he decided to become a doctor at the age of 12. He attended Tazewell Public School, graduated from Tazewell College over here on Powell Street over in that area. He later received a BA degree from Henry College before entering the Medical College of Virginia, now VCU. And he earned his medical, that's where he earned his medical degree. He was voted alumnus of the year in 1949. And at that time, they recognized Dr. Whitten as having the highest grade average in medicine up to that time. He was a fantastic doctor, a brilliant mind. He also received the Algernon Sidney Solomon Award from Virginia Military Institute in 1949. It's a prestigious honor to recognize community members for excellence of character, spiritual qualities, and service to others. And Dr. Whitten had 5 boys graduating from BMI. He had one boy to go to BMI, a year and a half. He got an appointment to West Point, so he went to West Point and graduated from there. I'll bring them up later on in my talk. Doc was a member of Tazewell Christian Church. He was a Mason. He's a member of the Elks, American Legion, veteran of foreign war. He served in the French front, where he earned the rank of Major. He was a member of the House of Delegates in Richmond, Virginia, from 1924 to 1936. A Senate of Virginia from 1936 to 1940, and again in the House of Delegates from 1944 to 1958. That's a span of 30 years. What did he do? Over the past 50 years, he provided a home for over 150 boys who needed a home due to the broken homes, lost a parent, or in private condition. He opened the door for an opportunity of an environment of a good home, education, and a moral fiber to become good citizens. And from my memory, I don't think any of them ever went bad. Maybe a couple of twins. Sport was always, Rich, you want to sit in? You don't.
I sit down all day, Rod.
Okay, well, I didn't know if you offered or what, but sports was always very interested in the Whitten household from 1926 to 1959. In most instances, Tazewell High School would have one or more boys from the Whitten home on the field of play, and Doc was the team doctor for over 30 years. I draw your attention to an article from the Bluefield Daily Telegraph, the press box with Stubby Kearney. That is all over in your book. It's about maybe 10 or 12 pages. And you'll find first page will be a picture of Dr. Whitten, where he was voted into the Tazewell High School Hall of Fame. Once you get there, I'll pick up again. Try not to bore you. Mr. Toby there? Okay. Stubby Kearney wrote on how Bill Dudley, who was a graduate from Graham High School, how he ended up playing at the University of Virginia. Also, one of Doc's boys, George Ryan, played at the University of Virginia. He goes on to say in this article that I point you to, of course, Doc was the first person to be into the Hall of Fame, Tazewell High School Hall of Fame. And then, I don't know how many members now, but the press box, I'll read just a little bit for you. Dr. Whitten, who is credited with influencing Bill Dudley and George Grimes, and George stated Dr. Whitten. He comes from a broken home. Their father just up and left him, and he had a brother, Bill. And when the war broke out, both of them joined the Marine Corps. George was a captain. At that time, he's at North Carolina University. But after the service, he came back and went to University of Virginia. Doctor was influenced Bill Dudley and George Grimes, among other players, to attend Virginia. Related that he once informed Frank Murray, who was the coach then at Virginia, that we had some good ball players here in town. You need to come and look at them. Murray went to the Whitten home to see the boys. After interviewing them, he called Doc Whitten aside. I don't think that Dudley boy, I can't take him. He's too small. Bill Dudley went on and made All-American at the University of Virginia. He made All-Service, and he made All-Pro. George Grimes played at the University of Virginia. He was on 2 winning teams. His senior year, he was the leading scorer at the University of Virginia. The next picture shows boys who were on the farm playing football and tag, just having a good time. Next, we'll talk about World War II. World War II, just think about this, Dr. Whitten. He had 24 boys in World War II. They were in the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and they were assigned around the globe. Harry Atkinson enlisted in the Marine Corps, one of Doc's boys. When Harry came to Doc, his mom dropped him off. On the way home, a drunk hit her in a car and ran her into the old mill dam down near River Jack, and she died from that. Harry Atkinson entered the Marine Corps and served with Oklahoma. He was 17 years old. He returned to Doc to finish Tazewell High School and graduated from BMI in 1951. He served in Korea as a company commander and received a Bronze Star in 1952. He served in Vietnam as a battalion commander as a lieutenant colonel. And after 20 years of service, he retired as a colonel. Jess McCall served in the Army in the Pacific War Theater. Captain Jess McCall, MD, was in charge of the medical unit. He graduated from Virginia Military Institute in 1927. He's one of Doc's boys. He stayed there 17 years. His company commander called Mr. McCall in to assign him to an important duty to escort the First Lady of the United States, Eleanor Roosevelt, wife of Franklin D. Roosevelt, while she visited Guadalcanal. And I have a picture of them all over in your book. You can look at it later. So it shows her escorting her. And that's a big responsibility. Morris Searle, I don't know if y'all remember, some of you remember Morris Searle. He enlisted in the Marine Corps and served in the Pacific War Theater. He was assigned to the Air Corps and flew 111 missions over EOG. Hanok Abal, in his injured dive he received the Navy Cross. The Korean War, we were well represented in the Korean War. Tommy Altutter, VMI graduate, awarded a Bronze Star and Purple Heart for life-threatening wound received in combat. Bob Neal, a VMI graduate, received non-threatening wounds in combat. Beck continued in battle and was awarded the Silver Star and Purple Heart. Danny Myers, a West Point graduate, served his country in Korea and Vietnam. He retired as Lieutenant Colonel. For God's good grace, all came on the line. What did he accomplish? I have many occasions been asked, where did all the boys come from? They came from the area. They came from the state of Virginia, Pennsylvania, Maryland. We even had, and one boy came from war-torn Korea. I have a picture of him and Doc in your notebook. After Doc's death, it was later learned. Now listen to this. This one really shocked me to the core every time I read it. After Doc's death, it was later learned that he made a promise to a mother in Israel to give her son a home and an education. Let me read you this right up. Israel woman learned that Dr. Whitman is dead. The clerk of the Virginia House of Delegates sadly shattered the dreams of Israel Mother's Day when the simple tidings that Tazewell County famed Dr. Whitman is dead. Mrs. Hefner Mother Qatar Hakil of Israel inquired frantically about the late Dr. Whitman in a letter dated December to the House Clerk E.F. Christensen. About many years ago, she wrote, Dr. Whitman from Tazewell writes to me and my boy and promised us to help. He was ready to take my boy in school and try him and give him a home. I have not a husband and live here in very difficult circumstances. All the time it was not possible for me to come because I did not have the money. And I finally received enough money from Germany to bring my boy to the United States. I beg you to answer me why Dr. Whitman cannot write me last month to me. I am very alarmed. Dr. Whitman has been all the time our best friend, and I will be happy to know that he is in good health. Please answer me as soon as possible. Mr. Dawson answered with, real regret. Dr. Whitman, a former Virginia legislator who was known as the father of hundreds, for his care of homeschools, died October the 30th, 1959. He was 79 years old. I thought that was amazing. The man fought divorce from Korea, was going to get one from Israel. We get back to him. When I put this together, it's hard to get the material in line like you would like it. But for someone who gave a home to boys for over 50 years, I may be going back and forth, but if you would just bear with me, we'll get there together. What did he accomplish? I told you about where they all came from after Doc's death, about the lady from Israel. He also accomplished sending these boys who wanted to go to college, their choice of college that they wanted to go to. He insisted on it, or he wanted them to go to VMI, Virginia Polytechnic Institute, or West Point. But most of them went to Virginia Military Institute, West Point, University of Tennessee, Lynchburg College, VPI, Virginia Tech, Morristown College, National Auto Diesel Schools, Fort Union Military Academy, Stanton Military Academy, and William and Mary, on a budget of $10,000 a year. And for over 50 years, with his grace and guiding hand, he raised over 154. And they say he did it single-handedly, but I beg to disagree. He did have help. Her name was Maggie Rose. She's like a mother to me, my brother, to all the boys. I apologize if this way I feel when I think about it. Like I lost my own life. I'm going to read you something here for you. I did a write-up about my first year in grade school. And when I first learned to read simple words of Dick, and Tom, and Jane, of course, Maggie Rose, she's the first one I ran to when I got out on the first day of school. Thank you for bearing with me. I'll be here. By the way, I had a lot of help putting this together. My wife, Jess Beavers, and his wife Sharon. Did a lot of it. We worked in their office for 2 hours making copies. I can't find it. Been married 50 years in January, and I don't know how to do it without it. I'll have to fit up with it. I think it's on the other side of the wall, it's right here. They'll never invite me back here. Yes, sir. I have a picture of Maggie Rose. You have it in your book. And just what a sweet lady. I asked Tom Altizer a few years ago to write me what Maggie Rose meant to all the boys. She raised 8 boys and girls of her own. She still had a lot of love for all the boys there at Dr. Whitman. And Tommy writes, to the people in North Carolina, in the vicinity, Maggie Rose or Dr. Whitman's cook, but anyone who ever spent a day in Doc's home for boys knew she was much more than that. Fixing delicious, nutritious meals was only a small part of the responsibility this extraordinary person took upon herself. To the boys, she was not only a loving, caring mother figure, she was on out matters of discipline, advising a matter of girlfriend problems while counseling ways of dealing with life problems facing young men moving into adulthood. Did God ever place the sand in the right place at the right time? He placed Maggie Rose in Doc Whitten's home. He gives us great comfort to those who benefit from this miracle. Who knew Maggie Rose, she has earned her place in heaven. When Dr. Whitten died, in his will, he stipulated that the house that Maggie Rose lived in, he willed it to her. You get back. You just do that. Okay. Before closing, I would like to mention another person. A friend of Tazewell, a wonderful person, and past member of the town of Tazewell Town Council. Without Betty Van Dyke, we wouldn't even need to be present at this meeting. Betty always wondered what was best for Tazewell. Betty Van Dyke acquired the Doc Whitten residence from Tazewell County Historical Society and decided to renovate Doc's place close to the original appearance as possible. Betty put her heart and soul into the project, as well as her money. She received no help from anyone or from the state of Virginia. Betty's goal was to provide an attractive building to help preserve the legacy of Dr. Whitten. On another occasion, Betty asked me to be the guest speaker at the Community Foundation of Virginia's dinner. The Community Foundation is a positive force for bringing the entire region together to create positive results in Duke, Virginia. The foundation was at that time in the process of establishing a scholarship to be named in Dr. Whitten's name, honor. Speaking to a crowd of about 159 people would raise a great deal of money. And this wouldn't have happened without Betty Van Dyke. Betty Van Dyke is no longer with us. She died peacefully at her home in Tazewell, September 4th, 2025. Betty's spirit is with us here tonight. Some of our family members are present to gift the residence of Dr. Whitten and to the residence of Dr. Whitten to the town of Tazewell. It is my wish and the wish of the Van Dyke family, that in your collective wisdom, you may find it in your heart to preserve the legacy of this good man. Dr. Jack Fisher Whitten, the greatest humanitarian the Commonwealth has ever produced. Thank you.
To add to that. The Van Dyke family, my mother, as Roger mentioned, passed away in September. In her later years, she asked that we find some way to preserve the legacy of Doc Whitten. She fixed that house up. It's not in perfect shape, but it's in pretty good shape. Just put a roof on it. And we felt like the best way to preserve that was to donate it to the town. So we'd ask on behalf of our family that you all accept this and appreciate your consideration for it. I'm happy to answer any questions. The one stipulation we would ask, if you do accept it, is that it be preserved in Doc Whitten's honor somehow. I mean, the whole building doesn't be used as a museum, but certainly part of it with memorabilia. There's several pictures and memorabilia in the house. Roger obviously has access to a lot of that kind of thing, so it would be at least part of it to preserve the legacy of Doc Whitten, who, as Roger said, one of the greatest humanitarians that state's known. So, glad to answer any questions. If not, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Roger. Thank you.
Susan, I'm not connected to the internet for some reason. I don't know what that.
So do we need a motion to accept the property?
If council would choose to do so, I would say yes.
Yeah. I make a motion that we accept the property into town.
We have a motion on the floor.
I'll second.
I'll go second. Any discussion?
I would ask, was it a condition relative to that in terms of what they wanted in terms of being donated, but also being preserved for Doc Whitten? Is that?
Well, like Mr. Van Dyke stated, you know, it's in pretty good condition. We have workers. If they had just put a roof on it, you know, I'm familiar with the property, I think everyone is. I don't see a problem. You know, that man did what he did, and we own the property on the other side of the train station. We can do something there. And the Van Dyke family's here with us tonight, so I think we do it tonight.
Well, my only question wasn't based on your motion, was that you
Specify
with regard to the conservation of Dr. Whitten's lawn?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That was what I was just making sure.
We would work with you on D, however you want to do that, make sure there's a
Certainly.
restriction on that. And I will say, I didn't add, there is a lot beside the house property. It would be, all of that would be donated. It's a lot beside it, so.
That's where the hotel used to be, I believe, Mr. Chairman, what I talking about.
So just to be clear, the motion is to accept the house and with the stipulations that were presented.
Yes.
And we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? With that, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. With that, the motion carries. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Good work.
All right, next on the agenda, we have local business recognition. We have Cargo Oil as a business that we would like to recognize. I know they couldn't be here with us today. We'll do a separate recognition for them. But we do want to recognize Cargo Oil and their longstanding business and what the efforts they put into the community and all that they have done. We will make sure to recognize them in person as needed. Next on the agenda, we have Between Friends Gifts. Sorry. Little tongue tie there. Miss Vicki Booth, if you could please come up. I believe I saw 20 years in business now.
September.
This past September,
No.
this upcoming September, we'll make 20. That is an incredible achievement, and we appreciate all you do. And I know you see me in there every now and then.
Every now and then. Actually, for you some money.
I like to hear that. But we appreciate all you do and all that you've done for the community, and it's great to recognize businesses that have put their heart and soul into this community.
Thank you.
We got a few gifts for you.
Oh, thank you very much.
If you don't mind, snag a picture, then I'll let you say a few words.
Okay, everybody that knows me knows I have the gift of gab, so I'm going to make it short. I just want to say that Castle's my home. I grew up here, I raised my family and children here, and it's been an honor to be a part of the community in the way that I've gotten to be the last 20 years, soon to be 11 years here on Main Street. In the building, it's so appropriate I'm here tonight, in the building that Betty Van Dyke ran her business from. And as a little girl, I remember quite well going in that store. I bought my music in that store. And I always wanted it to be something that the Van Dyke family could also be proud of. So I hope that I've succeeded at that. It means a lot to me. And the last thing I want to say is when I moved to Main Street, outside of a flower shop, there was nothing. Not one single business on Main Street, outside of law office, announcement, which we need.
Easy now.
Maybe a few less. What I want to say about that is we were on a roll. I think anybody that's been around the last 11 years knows that we had some momentum going on Main Street. We were growing, and then that nasty thing called COVID hit us. And we lost that momentum. We've gone through some changes with leadership and different things in Tazewell. I want to appeal to you, all of you, especially you guys up here, support local. come to our stores and our restaurants. We need to see your faces. Believe me, we know, we recognize. We know who comes. All I can say is, when you lose it, it's gone. And that's knocking on the door for a lot of us. I hope to be around a while longer because I love this. It took the place of my girls when they grew up. So I appeal to you, please support what we have here. More will come if they know that you're supporting us. So thank you again, I appreciate it. And I love my hometown, and I hope all of you do too.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is another local business recognition, Candy's Cakes. They here? I think they are. All right. Candy's Cakes LLC, they make custom cakes, and we love to see it. I think they've been in business a year.
No, I think they're newly open.
Newly open, okay.
They're going in the same building as Love You Babe Florist, I do believe.
Okay.
And this was their, just kind of getting everything started, and they're a brand new business.
And so we always love to support the businesses that have been here and put the work into the community, and new businesses that like to do the same. So we'll get with them and give them their due recognition. Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for the council meeting on January 13th, 2026. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
We got a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
We got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Next is the approval of the financial statements and financial report for January 2026. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Got a motion.
I'll second.
We got a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Next we have a committee and conference updates. The Planning Commission Committee, Zoning, Building, and Property Maintenance Official Hurley.
We did not meet last Monday. Had one in the hospital, one sick, and the weather wasn't cooperating. And the business owner that's going to open a new retail store in town is going to be ready this coming month. So we'll have a meeting first Monday in March.
What is that store?
I can't say yet.
Of course you can. You're not
So while we're on that real quick, there's a business out near Lincolnshire, and it's like a radio shop. Do we know anything about it?
A radio shop?
Yeah, an old car wash building.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he says open and free financing, but I don't know anything about that.
I have to check, see if they got a business license. I don't know anything.
We'll move forward. Next is the Tazewell Today update with Emily Combs Davis, Executive Director.
Hi guys. Just wanted to give you a little bit of information. So I know many of you know we had Restaurant Week that happened January 19th through the 25th. So we had 11 participating restaurants. There are actually 13 restaurants in town and in a close proximity to town. We're trying to pull Fisher and Company into that as well. But we had 11 participating restaurants. Out of that 13 total, so we had one that was closed for the month of January for some renovations. And the other one that did participate, there's a little bit of a language barrier to pull them in and try to get them to participate in certain things. But with that, I believe we did a raffle along with that. I know, Joe, you entered it. Yes. Sorry to say we did not win. But along with that raffle, we had that raffle just to try to get an idea of who all was coming out to, and also to encourage people to visit the businesses. But we had 381 entries in that raffle. And I know not everyone that dined at a restaurant entered the raffle. So I think think that that was great for a week in January, especially that last Saturday was not very nice to be out. So in this past week, I had the pleasure of going to Luray, Virginia, which I learned that if you are from there, it is Luray, not Luray. So that was the Virginia Main Street Directors Retreat. There are only 35 advancing Virginia Main Streets in Virginia. That's the top tier. We are pleased to be one of those. There are 6 west of Roanoke. So, and this is just a time for all of the Main Street directors to get together, to get some education through the DHCD, through the Virginia Main Street program. But a lot of us work alone. We're the only employee in the organization, so we get in our little silo and you feel like others don't really know what you're doing. So it's really great to get with others, to talk about your struggles, to talk about your ideas of things that you want to implement in the community. So it's really invaluable to go to that. They do have a national meeting. I have not been able to go to that yet, but hopefully one day I'll make it. I also wanted to let you know on February 26th at 6 p.m., I know some of you participated in the downtown walking tour that we had several months ago, back in September. We are going to have Joe Borgeson with Place in Maine that is going to do a presentation from what all the information they gathered from that, and that is going to be February 26th at 6 p.m.
Where's it located at? Is it here?
It is here. He is not coming back to Tazewell to do this, so it will be a virtual presentation. So we also had another planning that was going on also up on the Main Street area. We call it the SMART grant. That stands for Small Area Plan, which encompasses the entire Main Street districts that's in the Virginia Main Street District. That I actually have a phone call on that tomorrow to finalize their draft, and we hope to schedule a presentation for that in March. So be on the lookout for that. And I know several of you know about the Polar Plunge, and I've placed some flyers around. Joe, you still need to sign up.
I'm there.
Yep. So we had tried, I know I had mentioned to Councilmember Klon about possibly doing the Mayor Cooks's recognition at...
Didn't work out, did it?
No, at Polar Plunge, but that would have been great. So we do have, you can sign up online, you can visit our website, taztoday.org, and sign up there. You can collect your donations online. We also have paper pledge forms that if you would rather go around and collect pledges on paper, we have those as well. You can pick those up at Gillespie, Hart, Hyatt, Thomas, and Hunter. And that is 179 Main Street, and they are open from 8 to 5. And of course, we are partnering with the Billy Wagner Park Project on that. So that this is a fundraiser for both organizations. Another fundraiser, March 8th, is going to be bingo at Knuckles Hall. Doors will open at 2, games will start at 3, and that we're partnering with the THS project graduation. A couple other things happening later on in March, on March 24th. In place of our normal promotion committee meeting, we're going to fill Easter eggs for the Easter egg hunt that is happening on March 28th. So we welcome anybody that wants to get involved. If you want to get involved, we have several committees that you could come and be a part of. We have a design committee. Design committee meets every month on the 3rd Monday of the month. For February, that is on the 16th. We meet at noon. All of these meetings are actually in here, so you know where to come, anybody that wants to come. We have an Economic Vitality Committee. It meets every 3rd Tuesday at 4:30. That is on the 17th. We have a Promotion Committee, which that encompasses all of the events we have and basically just promoting Tazewell. That is February 24th. That meets every 4th Tuesday. We also have our board committee that or, well, it's not a committee, their board of directors meets the third Thursday of every month, and that is February 19th at 6 p.m. And again, all of those meetings are in here. Anybody that wants to come is welcome to come. We always need people to help.
Thank you for all.
Any questions?
I got a quick question for you. We'll be
Yes.
moving into the budget cycle soon.
Yes.
And for the last few years, we've had a presentation from Tazewell today saying, you know, here's the events that we're looking at targeting this year. Here's kind of the game plan for the upcoming year.
Sure.
Are we going to have that again this year?
I can, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I think we're probably into March for the budget building, but
Okay.
it's nothing we got to decide when and where right now. But
Okay.
just something.
I mean, I'm always willing to, you know, because I know you all have work planning sessions. I can come to one of those, I can do it at a council meeting, whatever works for you all.
Sounds good. Thanks.
And I want to see if we can get a motion to get Michael Hoops' picture changed to him jumping into the lake.
I second.
I think we need to have one of you jumping into the lake.
You get one. Never mind. You can have proof of it. All right, next on the agenda is the Industrial Development and Economic Development Authority update, IEDA Chairperson Kara Spivey.
Hello. We also didn't meet because of the weather and it was cold in this room. But I get to talk again in a minute. I'm on new business letter day. So hold on to your hats. We'll talk more in a minute.
All right, next is the Comprehensive Plan Review Subcommittee, Councilmember Klein.
So you guys are gonna be shocked by this, but we also didn't meet. Almost weather got a vote. In regards to the comprehensive plan, one of the items that we talked about last month, so our members have been looking at the goals and the objectives. We're taking a plan that may have been recycled a few times and is longer than the duration of the comprehensive plan, which is supposed to be a 5-year plan. And we're looking at the goals and the objectives, and then the implementation part, and how we can actually develop a plan that we can execute over the course of 5 years. We welcome all participation, anybody who wants to weigh in the town's future. Our next meeting will be the first Monday of the month in March, and it'll be at
5:30?
5:30, so right after the IEDA's meeting. Ms. Town Manager, one of the items we had talked about last month is, you know, we do have a make or buy decision on this product. It's going to be a lot of legwork for a subcommittee made up of volunteers to produce it. Did you have any opportunity or any chance to take a look at how that was facilitated before? Was it Hill Studio? Did we subcontract it out to help us? We want to come up with a vision, and then we need help building a product.
So I do think it was Hill Studio, and Mr. Hill has been out of the office, but he is set to return tomorrow.
Okay. So maybe with our next meeting, we'd love to have you there, and we can talk about that more.
Okay.
All right. That's all I've got.
All right. We will move on to unfinished business, and we have the second reading and approval of ordinance for closure of portion of Bishop Street, Attorney Pike. And we will welcome a reading of the second reading for anybody. It was about 10 minutes last time.
I'll make a motion to wait the second reading.
You're a good man.
I've got a motion. Do I have a second?
One Mississippi.
I'll second.
Okay, I've got a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yeah, one thing to note on the actual plat that's being recorded, that we've already gotten a revised plat back from Jim Ribble. The title will be changed on the ordinance of vacation for the plat. That's the only, it's very subtle. But just want to let you know that it's the only change to the actual ordinance that I read last time. Otherwise, it's all identical. You can vote on the waiver and then a vote on the ordinance, so.
Yes, so we have a motion and a second to waive the second reading. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. The motion carries, and I'll entertain a motion to accept the ordinance.
I'll make the motion.
We got a motion? Do I have a second? Do I have a second? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. The motion carries. And that will take place.
Chris, I understand they've already paid, did they not?
They have paid for the certified mail, the 2 newspaper ads, and the property.
And Brad's fees.
So I think,
Everything's paid for.
so it'll be, if it takes effect 30 days from today, we'll go ahead and wait out that 30 days and go ahead and have council sign off on it, have the clerk sign off on it, and I can get it recorded then roughly mid-March.
All right, next is the fireworks discussion. Manager Rudy.
The last couple months, we've had on our agenda kind of an ongoing discussion about fireworks. So town council would like to see the town shoot off their own fireworks, and we had discussed having members of our fire department to get certified to do so. This would allow us to have flexibility to have our fireworks on July the 4th. Chief Lambert did reach out to the Virginia Fire Marshal Office and get information for us what would be required from us, and we would have to apply with them. And they gave us the steps. It usually takes 4 to 6 technicians to do a show. So Susan and I had a meeting with our insurance company, Versa. That's Virginia Risk Share Association. And this is our takeaway from it. Fireworks claims are not inexpensive claims. So if there is a claim, it is not going to be cheap. If we use a company to set them off, they have their own policies and we don't have any liability. If a misfire occurs, there is no coverage through Versa if a firefighter gets hurt. It is strongly recommended that if we have firefighters doing this, that they obtain their own insurance policy to cover them for their own personal liability. Individuals should check with their health insurance provider to see if there is any exclusion under their health insurance for pyrotechnics. If they have an accident, they are not covered. If they cause an accident or damage, they are not covered. There was discussion about possibly having other localities hire the town. They have to perform so many shows to stay certified. So if they travel to another locality, is it under the town or is it as an individual? Because they wouldn't be covered. The town policy will not cover going to other localities and being hired by other localities to perform shows. And I quote, "Town of Tazewell should not accept money for shooting fireworks." That is their insurance recommendation. Expense to the town. So I did ask the question, what would this do to our policy if we did this in-house? Nothing, because fireworks are not excluded from the policy. We would have costs associated with travel and training to remain certified, and we would have costs associated with purchasing fireworks and the initial certifications. I'll stop there and open for questions.
Well, I said at our last meeting, I think you have to step away from this because they're volunteers.
That is why they are not covered. They are volunteers, not employed.
And I truly don't think you're gonna get them trained by July the 4th. I just think you need to go in a different direction.
Can we take a second and hate on the insurance?
Duke comes on at 9.
All right, so this meeting's going to midnight, right? Just remember, 0.4 seconds is all it takes.
Do we have quotes for fireworks for this year? I think we were working on that simultaneously.
In the past, it's been $12,000. They have been affected by the tariffs because they purchased their fireworks supplies from China. So this year, for the same quality show that we've had in the past, it would be $14,000, so $2,000. We have the option of keeping it at the same time limit and reducing the number of fireworks put off to keep it at the 12,000. So either way.
And they also do have us reserved for July the 3rd. July 4th was not available.
The 3rd is a Friday, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Correct. So, looking at this year's show, if it's on July the 3rd, it does give town employees a chance to be off on the 4th, because it would be a Saturday. they would still have to come out for the third fireworks show, but just from a liability standpoint, I have a lot of concern for our firefighters. That's very heavy to put on them.
Sounds like a good business opportunity for local citizens to come up with.
Yeah, I think the big thing is that there's a handful that want to do it, but are they willing to get their own insurance and?
Yeah, I would say put it on the, if somebody wants to do a business, fantastic, but I don't know, I don't think the town can do it.
When do you need a decision on the third and purchasing this fireworks?
They're waiting to hear back from us. We told them that we would have this discussion at our meeting. So they do have us down.
They have us down,
But-
but it's not etched in stone.
Right.
Contracts.
So it sounds like sooner is better on that.
I say move forward with the July 3rd for this year.
Okay. Well, they have a alternate date to get rained out. We talked about that last year.
We asked about that last year. It wouldn't be the 4th or the 5th, but we could put it on later in the year. That was.
Later in the
Back in last year.
Is that- Do we get our money back or no?
No, but we can.
But we can pick an alternate date.
Yeah.
Sure, we just shut them off or whatever we do.
It's Friday.
It's Taco Tuesday.
That's right.
All right.
Do we want to talk about the money too? Like, do we want to do a $12,000 show or a $14,000 show?
I'll always screw up, I'll just say US 250th anniversary.
Oh, yeah.
Sydney, whatever. The show quality last year, I'm good with that time frame. I don't think that we extend it further. I'd be comfortable running the show.
The $14,000.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think that's good.
What is 15? Fireworks.
I think
Laser.
250 lower the quality of the show.
Yeah.
I think that's bad.
We're next year. Next year. Okay, I'll make a motion that we move forward with the quote as priced and set the fireworks for July 3rd.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. All right, now we'll move into new business. Here we go. 1616 Riverside Drive project, IEDA, Chairperson Spivey and Jordan Dillon, Director of Economic Development.
Hello, hello. I am Kara. I want to introduce you to my friend Jordan. Jordan is our spirit guide at the Cumberland Plateau Planning District. She's worked very closely with us. She is very gracious with her time. She meets regularly with me and Leanne and Susan. And our goal when we work with the Cumberland Plateau Planning District is Jordan has this knowledge of any possible bucket that we could look to. She has connections with people who are in charge of those said buckets. And she can guide us into how we can improve what we have within the scope and a reasonable time frame. So, Jordan, you have anything to say right off the top of that?
Does everyone know what the Cumberland Plateau Planning District does for the region? Are you all familiar with our organization? Number one. Okay, great. So we serve the 4 localities, and our primary goal is to be a liaison to the federal agencies for those funding pots that are available. And then we also help the localities get that funding, and then we manage that funding for the locality.
So, we, at the IEDA, as you know, we own several properties around town. We have been focused on our North Tazewell district, and we have a new addition, it sounds like, as of this evening. So, the town is very, we're driven here in this same region of the town. Our Farmers Market Pavilion, there's signs of improvement down there. That project's going to be wrapped up, and so as you know, In November, I approached you about our 1616 Riverside Drive location. It was a previous Public Works site. They have since vacated it. It is now empty, with the hope that that is something that we can now focus our time and effort into revitalizing. So in November, I approached you with the idea of it becoming kind of an incubator. I have been calling it a fab lab, mainly because it's fun, but a fab lab that could become a workforce development hub. We would love for the bottom floor to become what's called a commercial kitchen. We think this is going to fill a big need, and Jordan will help me explain how that's something that has been funded in the past through ARC. We also think that there's a capacity for the top floor to become something that our community provides input onto what types of equipment that they might be interested in having available. Mr. Rudy brought up a cannery. I would like the record to show that the county approached us about the cannery idea. I didn't steal anything. I've said publicly many times that I didn't know what a cannery was until the county approached us about it. So if the county would like to collaborate, I think there's room for a cannery in the 1616 Riverside Drive location. We would love a letter of support if that's something that you think you might be interested in.
I think Mr. Rudy said he would pay for it.
I also heard something of that too.
I would like for it to be on record that my predecessor left me $3,000 in my district funds, and I've already spent that, while other districts have big money, so.
Well, it's nice of them to do that.
So anytime anybody asks me for money, I just blame Aaron.
With 1616 Riverside Drive, I know that it was asked that it be something that we look at revitalizing, maybe not right now. The reason I asked Jordan to come and join us this evening is to help me explain why this is the prime opportunity to strike. I want to point out one immediate one is the fact that it is an empty building and we don't want it to sit empty for too long. I think that that was probably what a lot of the problems were with the former bowling alley that is now. We don't want a perfectly good building to sit empty for too long. The second item that's very important is we have some upcoming deadlines for grant opportunities where there is currently a surplus of funds available that is not going to be available this time next year. Can you help me explain that in a better way?
So maybe I'm going to backtrack a little bit. So number one, I think Miss Emily said it earlier, Tazewell and a few other folks. Tazewell has had, and their business owners, Tazewell has had a great momentum going. Then COVID hit and a few other things, but you guys have a really great momentum going right now. There's a lot going on in Tazewell. It is recognized at the state level. You guys are talked about in meetings, so you guys are doing really great work. So we also don't want to stop that work. So what we're currently working on with the farmers market, and then also we currently finished up the downtown, or the revitalization for North Tazewell downtown. So those planning dollars that you received for the planning work just now have a shelf life. So you have the plan that Hill Studio did. You have a shelf life of how long that plan is able to move forward into the implementation stage, which means if you wait too long, you're going to have to redo the plan, you're going to have to update numbers because you can't go straight to implementation because you let your plan sit too long. So we definitely don't want that to happen. And then also with the money that she's talking about, right now the administration that has currently been in place, they have different priorities that they set every time we get a new administration at the state level. So our previous administration had different priorities that they set for the state. And so they have the X amount of funds that they have put into the Appalachian Regional Commission in state funding with DHD, and there's been a surplus for our area specifically, but also just in a lot of entrepreneurship and business development space. We don't know all the priorities that are going to be moving forward with the new administration, but we have been advised from our state representative that the funding pot is not going to be the same, and it's going to be less than we have now, which means it's going to be more competitive next year. So with the momentum that we are at right now, and we are already in that space in North Tazewell. We're already doing the farmer's market. We've already completed the planning work for a revitalization for the facade grant. We are simply just applying for planning money. That's all you're doing, because anytime that you want to do a construction project, you have to have all the homework in place. Your homework is all your planning, your design, your engineering work. All of those things have to be in place before you can even apply to get construction money to even work on the building. So that's all that we're asking to do right now, is to start with the homework phase, to get all the planning work done, the engineering, the design work, to get kind of more of a cost analysis of what it would take to revitalize this building in the North Tazewell area. So the deadline for the application would be around April 30th. I'm going to find that information out on Thursday, because I'll be with DHCD in Abingdon. So I'll be able to let Lynn and our team know exactly what that deadline is. But it's kind of looking like April 30th. But the good news is that we can kind of post-date the work. So as long as we apply for everything now, we can post-date when we want to start the planning phase of this particular building, so we can kind of off-ramp on some of the things that are currently going on, and our capacity load isn't too much. So we can kind of finish out some of the farmers market stuff, definitely finish out the planning work that we've been working with Hill Studio on, and then kind of move into this probably more into the fall. But we need to apply for it now, or you're going to miss the funding opportunity, and then we potentially would be at a competitive pace with people next spring. And so you don't want to lose the opportunity for kind of the low-hanging fruit.
And council tentatively earmarked $30,000 for this location. With that $30,000, what could we ask for in planning dollars to be our, like, what could we potentially turn that $30,000 into?
Yeah, you just have to, so you just have to have, we're at an 80-20 plan basically. So we just have to have 20% match. So you can use your $30,000 as a 20% match, and then, you would just adjust accordingly to what you need. So, but you honestly don't need a lot for planning. The max amount for planning work that I would recommend is about $150,000. That's not $150,000 that you guys have to have. That's the grant money. You just have to put up some of the match. So you wouldn't even need that really full. So for $150,000. So.
And I know we have successfully gone through planning work into implementation with the Farmers Market Pavilion. Glenn knows. Glenn watched us apply for planning dollars that became more planning dollars and have now become implementation money at the farmers market. We have done this. I'm confident that we will do it again. A lot of the questions that we all have of what could be in the building, how much will it cost, who will help maintain it long term, those are items that we work into the planning application. It's not something that we are throwing darts blindly. Throughout the planning work, we get linked up with experts who essentially tell us how to make this be successful and give us a blueprint that we will then use next year if we're pursuing construction dollars for that site.
You would procure a consultant for the planning work.
So in terms of, if we move forward with allocating $30,000 to go apply for the grants to get the planning, how far does having, that's part of the reason for having Mr. John Ruby here this evening, is collaboration between town and county, and how does that help us in that process and be more competitive when we move to the implementation phase? Because we're not asking for any money from the county up front for the plan.
But I will say, last week they all seemed very interested in the project. So I think that when we have a product from planning and we approach the county with a partnership opportunity, I think it'll be well received.
Any type of collaboration that you're going to put in an application is obviously going to make you more competitive. So from a reviewer's standpoint, the more people that have invested in said project, the more likely that project is going to happen. And then, they're gonna see that as, hey, this is something that they really want. They're gonna invest in it, it has a lot of purpose, has a good standing. You have your whole county that's supporting it. You have a regional group that's supporting it. Obviously, we would get a support letter. You could get something, even just a letter at this point from the county, saying, hey, this would benefit the area, and we would be in favor of supporting these efforts, then yeah, you would have a stronger application.
And I think one thing that I'm confident in how we're doing business, like grant business moving forward, is we're working out loud with someone like Jordan. We had a meeting with not only Jordan, but the Friends of Southwest Virginia to basically help us align what grant opportunities there are, what should we go after and when, so that we aren't competing with ourselves, and so that we do what we're all very passionate about, and that's finishing a project. We want something, we visibly want something for our citizens, we want something for our citizens to use, and so, yeah, I think that's a really big, important part. So I am prepared to hustle and build partnerships for the 1616 Riverside Drive property. And I think Leanne and Susan are also ready for that type of hustle too. But just the tide that is rising for the North Castle District is just something that we really have to capitalize on. And I really want to thank Jordan for her partnership, because she's been talking this project up for us in the right spaces with the right leaders who need to hear it. And I think that it's, I don't know, Mercer County is also in the process of having an incubator space, and so the time is right, if you will.
And it's not just an incubator space, commercial kitchen can do a lot of different things. You can have a lot of different vendors through it, it could have a lot of revenue for the town, but it also could have a lot of educational opportunities. There's actually a video, I'd be happy to have Mr. Klein's email here, I can send it to him. It's a video, there's a group out of South Carolina, they're a very small rural town, and they put in a commercial kitchen. And so they have a lot of the business owners in that video that are showing how they use that commercial kitchen and how it's benefited them. So most of them were some ladies, and they were making jam out of their house. Well, instead of, kind of going through all the hoops of, doing that at home, they were able to have a commercial kitchen space, and they were still able to sell all of their products. So there's a lot of different things you could do with it. This is also a phased approach, so don't be scared by the entire building. We can phase this into multiple different implementation and construction phases, so then that way we're not always paying everything up at once, and then maybe have some revenue come back in, and then start on phase 2. There's multiple ways that we can go about doing this. We just have to get started, and the groundwork has to get started soon.
And it's going to be a really great timing because our farmers market opens in May, and we have lots of farmers market vendors who are passionate about this education piece. And so the commercial kitchen across the street, especially if that's our phase 1 where we start to focus, we're going to lean in on the agriculture that's up there on our seal, helping our boost our agriculture, science and education, and yeah.
I would also add that as you're doing your comprehensive planning work, having a list of priority projects that you guys have put together, it's really important that you lay those out in your comprehensive plan, but it's also important that you note in applications that not only does the town have a comprehensive plan, but their plan also marries what the county plan is, so that it looks like you guys are a team and you're joining as one, and then that also feeds into our regional plan. Because our regional plan is adopted by all of our county administrators. So we're looking at all the projects that are going on in our 4 counties, and trying to make sure that we're all kind of doing the same thing and supporting one another. So since you're already moving towards having the new comprehensive plan, this would be a great time to kind of bring the two together. Make sure you're not competing with projects and you're working together.
And remember what she said, we're doing a good job. You want to be an expert.
So who owns the adjacent property?
Sorry?
Who owns the adjacent
The Horns, but then, oh my gosh, Earl Keene owns the one right after that.
The county just acquired. B&W Auto is what it is.
Yeah, no, this is one building.
The one building, I think you have one. Earl owns the one next door, the one down from.
Us, and then Horn is what's next on the GIS, and then Earl.
Yes.
So, I mean, if I'm zooming out and looking at the comprehensive plan we already have established that has us focusing efforts on revitalizing North Tazewell. I think we've taken very good steps towards that, a deliberate implementation of that plan. And looking out, downrange 5 years, we have 2 recreation opportunities, right, between the improvements that we're looking to do towards the ringing lot, this prospect that we have for mountain biking on town land in the county. This is, so far, the only thing proposed that we have that could actually stimulate small business. And doing that in the industrial section of the town and improving those conditions. I think that it's an effort worth pursuing. And knowing that we got to get through the planning process first. Essentially, you're taking this year to line yourself up successfully for implementation over the next several years. So I think the timing on that's right. I would ask that this $30,000 be allocated, before we were talking about holding on to it, based on the timeline and knowing that it's going to take about approximately a year to get through the planning process. I think the time is right to do this now because of the new information that we've received from Ms. Jordan and knowing that state priorities are going to be changing. We don't know what those are yet. So it may look similar, but there's a lot of change going on in Richmond. I think that it would be wise to go ahead and move forward and initiate the planning and then continue to build those collaborations, with the county side and then again through Cumberland Plateau to get this done. And I'll put that in the motion.
And I'll second it.
I have a problem.
You got a motion and a second for discussion?
So, that's one building. So we go in and we do all these updates and make our portion great. But then Mr. Horn and Mr. King do nothing.
Wait, was that part of your later updates? You wanna, just the fact that this implementation work that they're doing, the planning that has been finished through the revitalization grant is for free money for the facades of the other businesses to be improved.
But are they on board?
Yeah, they've signed the paperwork.
Well, it'd be nice to know these.
Well, I got you.
Yeah, but we're getting ready to vote now and we don't know this.
Well, on the facade improvement, and it's occurred over a few meetings down at the train station over the course of 8 months or so. And I went to those meetings. I will say, one of them got a little dicey. There was a little bit of misunderstanding between the two, but there was appropriate follow-up to where the business owners found out that this facade improvement program, that we gained access to this because of our block grant that we received. Is that correct?
Yes.
So we did a block grant, and then the business owners, it used to be that there was a match to it. That match has been lifted, so the business owners in North Tazewell are getting outside tax dollars to improve the facades on their business in this upcoming year, and the deadline's like April to apply for that.
Correct.
So all these things go hand in hand. I hear what you're saying in regards to it being one building, but we can't make plans for buildings that we don't own. So we do have this one. And it's got good square footage where we can improve it.
You can also change the tune of how things are. So if you're going to revitalize a building, make it beautiful, put something in it, make it worthwhile, put some entrepreneurship in there, bring something back to the town. You could also spur on everyone else beside it to change what they're doing and to jump on board.
Or if they don't want to do it, they can sell it to somebody that does.
Right.
Then you increase the property value.
Absolutely. I'm a Duke fan, if that helps.
I hate Duke.
You were excited to watch him.
I like to boo.
Carolina, so we have a motion and a second.
Carolina.
Any other discussion?
Yeah.
All right, with that, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. All right, motion carries.
Thank you.
Good luck. Thank you for your work.
Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you, Jordan.
Next on the agenda is Police Department Officer Purchase of Firearm. Chief.
Mayor, if I may, I'll just stay right here. I want Councilman Willis to understand that Kara and Jordan took up my time, so don't be mad. I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with this, since you've been sitting on council. There is a code section, of course I know Jonathan is well aware of it, and Mr. King, I know those two are well aware of this, but there's a code section if you retire with 10 years of service and retire respectfully, that you are allowed, if the council see fit to allow it to happen, that the officer can purchase their firearm for $1. And I know that what you're thinking is y'all just got brand new weapons and you're gonna give one of them away for $1. That's actually not true. He don't want one of the new weapons. He wants one of the old ones that we've had that he used to carry. We did keep 2 of those back for spares. He's actually wanting one of those. He does not want a new weapon. But I'm asking for a vote from council, if you all will, in order for him to make this purchase. Now, he's retiring March the 1st. His last day working will be February the 25th, but he would not be entitled until March the 1st to make that purchase. But I need a vote, yea or nay, for him, for that to happen. And actually, that's one of the old block 40s, 29, 27 40s that we have, so it's not one of our new guns.
What's the code section?
The code section, I'm sorry, the code section is 59.1-148.3.
Stan, I'll make the motion for you.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Got a motion and a second, any discussion?
The only question I had in regards to the code, and this is where I just want support from our town attorney, is and it may be, I'm not a lawyer, so it's got 10 years of service. There are a few clauses in there. I just want to make sure that we are in line with that. That it's not like you have to meet all these criteria in order to be eligible for it. But I applaud the service and certainly want to support this.
No pressure, but it's almost halftime.
Who is the officer, Stan?
It's Paul.
Okay.
Are you having a party?
If you're looking at, it's with regard to, there's 3 conditions in there, or it's not all 3 of them.
Okay.
It's or, like, after at least 10 years service, 70 years of age or older, or as a result of a service incurred disability, or who is receiving long term.
We're in line.
So I think it fits the way I read it.
Cool.
Thank you. You have to put me on the spot.
All right, any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries.
I thank you, council, and I just want to do a real quick update. I know this has been a long time in the works, is our fencing. We are there. I don't know if we got our quote back yet for the contractor.
Yes.
We did, okay.
Yes.
I just wasn't aware of that. That's coming along, obviously. I don't know if they've given, since we've changed guards the other direction with Public Works, if there is a projected date for that, but.
Well, we have ordered the fence.
Yes, the fence has definitely been ordered and
We
we've
have not
already.
received fence.
Sure,
So we're waiting on fence.
gotcha.
We will move forward with fence.
And I will call about fence tomorrow
Okay.
to see where we're at,
Okay.
because that was ordered a while back.
6 weeks ago?
Yeah, months and a half. Sorry. Just want to give a quick update on that. Hopefully we'll have some extra funds that we'll be able to walk that drive-through in. And I think it might be there, but just want to give y'all a quick update on that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is Clinch River Pavilion and Farmers Market update. Manager Reed.
Okay, so I don't know if anybody has drove by Riverside Drive, but last week we received materials to get started on construction. They began construction yesterday, so very good. I'm very pleased to tell that. We have a save the date for a ribbon cutting, May the 1st at 11:30 a.m. That is on a Friday. We would love to have everyone there and everyone IDA and Jordan, if you would like to come and able.
What was that date again?
March the 1st.
May 1st.
May the 1st. So sorry. And then the farmer's market is actually going to be opening their new season on May the 2nd, the very next day. So very excited for that, and thank all of you for your support. And I have loved working with Kara on this project, and Susan and Jordan, and it's been fun.
It has been fun.
So very good. So please, everybody keep that May 1st, 11:30.
Well, it's awesome to see that that's moving along and that project is finally coming to fruition. It's been a long time in making and a lot of work from everyone, and I appreciate all the efforts.
Good job.
All right. Next on the agenda is mountain biking project update.
So last month you all had gave approval that I could apply for a grant with the IMBA. It's a Trail Accelerator grant. It closes on March the 15th. I've already began the process to apply, and it's a max of $30,000. It's a one-on-one match. So I want to go all in and say $30,000 because we have the funds to match it. So we're going to plan some mountain biking.
Yeah, we were on the call with Miss Jordan and then Miss Jessica Lawrence with Friends of Southwest Virginia. But I can't remember the amount that they said, but Friends of Southwest Virginia had just received planning grant dollars as well.
Mm-hmm.
So perhaps that's another angle to look at, if this one doesn't.
I do think that Friends of Southwest Virginia would be great to keep a very good, close relationship with them on this project. Kim Davis. Thank you, Kim Davis. She is also someone that we have spoken with on this project too. So very, very helpful organization that we could partner with on this.
Awesome.
So.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we have the Recreation Committee. And just to give a little bit of background on this Recreation Committee, really it's a look of the intent of this committee that I'm hoping to form tonight with the support of council is we've talked about a lot of field updates, possibly new fields at the Ramey's lot. We talked about taking the soccer program back under the town wing and growing rec sports in Tazewell. And I think to do that and to do that properly, we need input from several folks within our community. Kenny has done a great job. He's very motivated to build the rec sports program back in Tazewell and to expand it and to do a quality job, but that's a lot of work for one person to take on themselves, and we might as well get subject matter experts and bring those in. And so I'd like to ask for the council's support to create a committee, rec sports committee. And my thought of that is to have Kenny lead that committee, and or I guess technically the position of the rec sports director to lead that committee and fill that with 6 other people throughout the community, which we'll determine at a later date to fill that committee, and so that we can build the rec sports programs back and build a community in which we can foster growth of our children through sports and through leadership aspect of life through sports to our kids.
All right, I'll make the motion that we form a committee. Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Thank you for your support. The motion carries. Next we have the miscellaneous. Anything to cover there?
I have one thing. So we've talked a little bit about budget. So it is budget season. Probably the last week of February, if we could. I would like to have a budget work session. So I will get Susan to send out a doodle poll, and we will work something together when everybody's most available, if that's okay with you all.
Sounds good. Anything else? All right, with that, we have miscellaneous public comment. Anybody signed up? No one signed up. Open the floor for council comments.
I'd just like to thank our Public Works again for the hard work. They've been inundated the past month with extreme cold, snow. They've done a great job. I know they had a lot of water leaks that's popped up. Last week was not a time that you want to be working outside in the water, so kudos to them for everything they do.
Anybody else? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Motion?
Second.
Got a second? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. All opposed say nay. Motion carries. We are adjourned.